So the bucket's going around, Greg's coming up. Thank you, everybody. Greg, go ahead.
It was taxidermy bush tits. That's what we were saying. Joe's still around. Good. So basically, we're gonna have Joe Hall, who is the final feature of the evening, and then we are going to take a very short break and then have an open mic that is approximately 10 people strong if it's full. But Joe Hall has been across the country, and this is after 24 days of being on the road. He is in Seattle, and he is here reading at the Breadline. This is his Seattle stop. He was born in the woods of Western Maryland, as I learned earlier, and he is devoted to Cheryl. I can ask him about that in private. His poems have appeared in Gulf Coast, Lowball, HTML Giant, and elsewhere. Black Ocean Press published his first book, Pigafetta Is My Wife, in 2010. He is currently in the middle of the Coast to Coast tour, and he started in Buffalo, New York. Actually, I don't know if that's where his first actual reading was, but that's where he is currently. And that's all for his second book, The Devotional Poem. Before today, he was in Oregon, in Portland, and he'll be going to Boise soon after, and then Denver, and then, unfortunately, I think, Nebraska, but that's a personal grudge that I have against Nebraska. Before I talk about his favorite bird, I just want to say that my favorite bird is the grackle, found all over the place, but most vibrantly in Austin, Texas, where they rain down from the trees and attack one another, making noises like machine guns, and they have these really big, prehistoric-looking eyes. I have never eaten a grackle. Has anyone here eaten a grackle? I'm sure somebody has somewhere. When asked, what is your favorite bird? What is your favorite bird to eat? Joe says, I'm not a bird person. Maybe it is all the bad, lazy poems about birds. I like to bite the heads off of every starling in every poem and then sit down to chicken liver pate with a can of beer. Everybody, welcome up Joe.
Thanks, Jeremy and Greg, for putting this together. I want to thank Ron, Dana, and Amber for feeding me and housing me while I've been here. Yeah, I think this is the 24th or 25th day, so I'm going to try to keep it together. I do have books for sale in the back, but if you want to give me money, you can just give me money. You don't have to buy them. Locating. I hear your mouth filling with your tongue, and the wind dragged in your lips before braid flushes spilling, without aspect, arresting in silence. How can I address this throne, which is my Mary, my Christ, my peace? You cannot all enter me. My little body tells me it cannot take that you are many, changing. I seem to know this, but still, in one time, one place dwell, in one state clear and weak, one shrinking word waiting on tender feet. Will you encircle me, or are you here without passage, in circle? Listen, is this a passage between words, your tongue moving when all the horns don't blow? Or is this between two voids, passing? Lord, are you the basin? Next poem is called Trailer Park. In an algorithm of trees exploding in your face, shaved from soap in a prison cell, and a pair of yellow finches alighting from high power lines over all these dudes lying on their beds, palming their cocks, waiting for me, leashed from circuits in a baroque array of evolving graphical representations of a black economy as of a subverting process, a cancer, oh beast, oh Christ, in the motherfucking sound, in the motherfucking light, the iterations of thunder, the bass so high it hurls you into the grass, beast, only imminent, you cannot be found, waiting to subsume, fuck up them cities, bring murder into the bridal chamber and force armies to copulate in the killing field mud. Delete all images of yourself. Crash this party, sink this continent to petrified latitudes of soy and corn, to perform plastic surgery on everyone, beating to death the letter B while the rest of the alphabet watches in a berserk horizon scouring clarity. Christ, I will wait until I'm a viscous core of 3 huge spinning heads, 10 wasps in a monitor, a sweating cradle of fat, a bursting parabola of orange-yellow flowers called cubes, 10,000 livers whiffled like flutes secreting dissolvable capsules and shrines. I will wait until I'm an iron rake with a broken tooth biting to the throat of this soil. I will not break down my pen. I will not follow a sign. I will wait until I'm a singing corpse being dragged across this landscape. Oh beast, oh Christ, you are a lamb. Now that I'm here, in heavy engines, the margin gathering what falls and runs along the discs dragged, through the bowls, through the vermin, through the suckers in the long burdock, and the wind lifted all the things around me, receipts and soft packs, a rind of coffee spoken onto a plastic lid, some slip, thorn by thorn, from the window. I was speeding because I don't know why. The embankment they could not follow, over streams and softened logs, through 2 banks of bulletproof glass, seams of clover around the vacants, house after house until the row ends, tasseled spike after spike until the row ends, that gathers all the world, caught on razor wire, jewel, redeemer, blister, sweetness, utter trash. If you will part these thorns, if you will bend. So when I wrote these poems, things were pretty fucked up. I was living in a trailer park, and the landlord would break in and do things like take a dump in the toilet and not flush, just to be like, hey, I'm your landlord. Remember me? And I fucked my neck and back up from working at a sawmill and working in shipping plants and things like that. But things are fine now. Things are really great. I can't complain. But the reason I'm telling you this is that I think the poems are for people who have been in my situation. You know, people would come visit me and they'd be like, oh, it's kind of funny you're living here. And then they'd walk into the place and they'd see like the holes in the wall and they'd be like, it's not funny, you fucked up, right? Like, you have become trailer trash. And so these poems, I think, are trying to capture kind of that desperate search for I think, consolation of people who have been regulated to the role of disposable or trash, and the kind of apocalyptic fury that goes along with that position. And I think post-recession, there's a lot of people like that that are still in those places that fortunately I'm not. So what poem am I going? Our Lady of Perpetual Devotion. You are about to select a kernel from a heap of broken kernels on the gray perimeter of a corn syrup plant. I am firing someone's dad's 25 into the dust in what will be a field of wheat next spring. Blam, for the hell of it, blam, blam. Inside the cottage, Colby's bird dog hunches like he has to crack, but he doesn't. He's just shivering. He's just gun shy. In the main block, ladders are oxidizing, smokestacks and burning seed. What can't be sacrificed? What can't be divided? Your hand reaches to stroke my neck, and I aim the 25 in the bottle, and I tremble. Mary, animal, where is your altar? The next poem I'm going to read, this guy Chris Toll helped me to edit it. Chris Toll is a Baltimore poet. He's one of these guys who would say things like, I don't write poems, aliens write poems through me. And he wasn't joking. Like, there was no smile on his face when he said that. He really believed it. And Chris was a Gangbusters editor. And you think artists are going to be around forever. You think they're on Facebook. I'll just message them whenever. But Chris passed away in the winter. So I want to read one of his poems from his book, The Disinformation Phase, on Publishing Genius. It's called I Can't Stand Along the Watchtower. So this is Chris Toll's poem. Many are stalled, but few are frozen. Emily sits on the edge of my flacking power, resonance, pull, gliding through. I've brought you a peach, and you move toward it, station by station, post by toppled border post. What a word to me. Should I have said speech? I brought you a peach, and I too am moving towards you, who I believe through heavy, roving lights, notice almost how the ocean smells. House by house, basement to top floor, then trailer. Though I do not know when we'll meet, everything you reside in, sundered, every cinder block and stone, every burdock, 2-foot paths, crossing pines and fire lingering. If I am unfaithful and set loose again and again, fractured, that escalation, I'll be gone, you'll be gone. Every Tuesday, every remember, you kissing me between the neck and the shoulders, and resting there, raising itself on and above this contract, those insects spilling from his mouth. We could still sleep last night, and those dreams I'd have of digging deeper into the earth, the caverns of clean, even minerals, clinging, the neighborhood, the sewer pipes, the mailbox, the tap water, and the electricity are so much dark and piled olive vine, where you appear in a hood of flames in the crown of the tree, live power lines whipping around you. And my body in this sleeping bag moves closer to you, lemon balm, and you say in this tent that on its legs that carry us aloft after so much scrambling, it is right to kill that which takes what holds us, because that is us, and we are nothing but that. I think that is what you said. It is hard to understand what this fire is speaking. This is the last poem I'll read. Our Lady of Supreme Happiness. In the theater, my silver wrists divide into almond tree branches, and those branches flower. I leave, and I can't remember the movie. When I begin praying to you, Mary, you are an icon carved from a yellow tusk. And then you become a horn thickened by milk, and then a garlic clove. When I finish praying, you are still here, the flame ranging roof to roof, the scent of burning almond blossoms. To live is to borrow, and if we borrow to live, then all life must be a heap of trap. So rejoice. All right, thank you.
Yeah.